Hi, thank you for joining me here on the O'Rourke Report. I want to gonna really stick to one subject. It's a new one on Bravo that had started out on Peacock. Before we do, if you want to be notified every time we put out new content and to help me out with my YouTubian overlords, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and the notification button. Subscribe, I think, is probably the most important, but like and notification, that's all good, doesn't cost you anything. Just make sure that every time I put something out, you get a notification. Okay. Um, let's jump right back into what I wanted to talk about, and it's this McBee Dynasty, the cowboy one that is, I'm sure, was developed because it's very reflective of Yellowstone. It's the powerful father, it's the four sons, and which really concentrate on three of the sons, same like Yellowstone. I think the fourth son died in the first episode or something, didn't it? Okay, I'm rambling. Let's get back on track. Um, this McBee Dynasty. Now, at first, I was going to avoid this because in order to binge it, I would have had to put up with commercials on Peacock. Okay, once it was imminent that it was going to season two was going to open up on Bravo, they put all those episodes over on Bravo, so I was able to fast forward through the commercials. Very important part for me. So, you think it starts out, you think you're going to get one story, the thing that you'll tune back in for week after week, but it turns out the producers quickly figured out there's a second story, and it's a very dark story, and it's one that I'm afraid the producers are going to ride until the end. And the end, boy, this has got the potential of being just lurid. It, it's something that, God, we're 25 years into reality television, and as each year passes, what was shocking and 5 years ago is no longer shocking, so they have to up it. What was scandalous, a flip of the table 15 years ago, you now have to have them sent off to prison. It's just progressing, progressing, progressing. And I think the McBee Dynasty, from what I've seen so far from this Jeff Jenkins production, more on them in a minute. What I've seen from them so far is we're headed in a very, very dark direction this particular story that the production is telling us. So anyway, this Jeff Jenkins production, his previous, or the production company's previous stuff, if you ever watched the Bling Empire, which followed, I think it was on Netflix, followed some uber wealthy Asians living in the LA area, and it was fascinating. But there was, again, there was this one very dark cast member. Um, I thought she was a junkie. Actually, she's passed away since the show was on the air, which I think was 2021. But again, the very dark, very dark. The other one was that, again, I think I watched on Netflix, was My Unorthodox Life, about the woman who left the Hasidic community, and you know how she was making her way. She was brought up as an Orthodox Jew. She has left that and she's out on her own. Thing about that show, she was, in my mind, was an extremely unlikable character. Every word out of her mouth, I was like, why am I even watching? It's one of those shows you watch because you just so much hate the character. Oh, I don't know what that's called, but again, so two, in my mind, suspect show. Well, he's got this McBee Dynasty. He got a contract with Peacock, and then Bravo called the show up to the big leagues, which is Bravo. So they've moved the show from Peacock to Bravo because of, I believe, this darker storyline. If they were just telling a Sheridan story of a successful farm family in Missouri, maybe that should reside on that's not necessarily Bravo. I mean, that could be Peacock. Well, anyway, the dark underbelly of this show, and it follows on the a tertiary level. It follows the ups and downs of running this big farming concern and their various businesses. The dark underbelly that they're really showing you is this woman who works for the boss, who is the one who does all the papers. She knows where all the bodies are buried. She pushes all the papers. She applies for all the loans. She does everything. And when you see the male Mr. the head McBee, you know he probably doesn't know how to push any paper. So he depends upon this woman tremendously. She reminds you of a Russian gymnast who has grown up and became, very tall instead of this petite little thing, murdering the on parallel bars. She is now a grown woman, but she's got a lot of scars somehow. She's got a lot of scars. And it shows through on camera. This character just transmits. So thrown into this whole mix is she's completely obsessed with the head guy. They sleep together and he treats her like absolute crap. And this is something that trickles down to his son's relationships as well. So the dark underbelly of the show is this story, this Galyna obsessing over Steve and Steve's children, trying to embark on mature relationships themselves and are, struggling. Period. End of story. The madness of the show is this Galyna. This Galyna, man, you have a great deal of empathy for her because she is completely unable to sever this obsession of what she's going through, uh, or realize what the level of her power truly is. And also throw into this mix, the guy she's madly in love with is a philanderer. I mean, he is, kind of four or five girls working at any given time. And when Galyna finds these things out, she goes crazy. At one point, she presents the son with, she shows the son a repair bill on one of the girlfriend's cars, $7,000 repair bill. And the son looks at Galyna and goes, "You didn't have anything to do with this, did you, Galyna?" And if you could, she just looks as crazy can be when she's denying it. Her eyes are lit up with joy, and she keeps saying, "No, I didn't have anything to do with it." She does crazy stuff like that, and I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going a bad direction, and I think this Jeff Jenkins production's got a responsibility. I, like I said, that I think we're going in a direction that maybe it was inevitable with reality television. I don't want to see it, but that's what's going on here in the O'Rourke Report.